You're listening to Miscast Commentary.
Hey everybody, welcome to Miscast Commentary, the Coming Attractions episode. I'm Joe Findley.
And I'm Todd Tebow, the Sailor Murray.
And we are back with you yet again, and we promised you a movie that would be connected to the last movie, Weekend at Bernie's.
I didn't promise anything.
Well, I promised it, and damned if I'm not going to deliver.
Yeah!
So, Bernie was dead. We need more people who are dead.
Yes.
So we went back into we went deep. We went to find something that's
You gotta dig deep sometimes.
probably one of my all-time favorite horror movies.
Was that a question mark at the end of that?
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about the answer right
Okay,
now.
right.
But I would say yes, it's one of my all-time favorite horror movies. 1978, a George A. Romero classic, Dawn of the Dead, the original Dawn of the
They're
Dead.
coming to get you, Joey.
Yeah,
They're
they know.
coming for you.
I wish they would come for me. That would be amazing.
I think a lot of people want the zombie apocalypse to happen.
Yeah, well,
There's
people
like courses out there and everything now.
people want nothing more than to show that their knowledge is worth something. They're like, oh, this guy's an idiot because they're doing that. I'd have done this.
Yeah, I'd be alive right now if the zombie apocalypse.
Whereas I'm the other person who's like the scientific, like the way Neil deGrasse Tyson ruins every sci-fi movie.
Yes.
By going, well, there'd be no explosions in space. Shut up, asshole.
Yeah. Like
Like,
just
it's
let me
just-
have this.
Yeah, it's fine. But the, well, actually, he tweeted recently about, he was talking about Guardians of the Galaxy 2. He went and saw it. He's like, I'm going to allow the audible explosions in space as I'm totally okay with the gun-toting raccoon. So he's like,
That's it, right?
I think he finally got, suspend disbelief. Got it. Snap.
He finally just got it. I went on a little journey myself.
Yeah, where'd you go?
I went to a Mastodon concert in Toronto,
Yes,
and it was unbelievably amazing.
Yes.
And it was like I'm getting old.
Yeah.
Like there's just no, this is one of those moments where you're like, oh shit, here it is.
Yeah.
Try and go in the mosh pit. Had some drinks. Me and my buddy were like, yeah, he's like, let's go to the mosh pit. And I was like, wow, this is unexpected. Okay, let's go. Lose him. 20 minutes later, I'm like, okay, I'm done. Like, and it is like, dude, this is the mildest mosh pit. This is like a mosh pit at like a Caillou concert or something. This is like, these people were so nice and they were so respectful.
Yeah.
And I still woke up the next morning like a fucking train raped me. And my buddy, I walked out of the mosh pit because I'm like, where's my buddy, right? I won't say his name for shame reasons. I'm like, where the hell is he? And I go out and I get through the crowd and there he is like leaning as if like the same train that raped me got him first. And he's like, I'm like, okay, let's go. We'll go outside for a minute and get some air. And he's limping. He's like, oh, I fell on my leg. And he's limping. And I'm like, oh, I was like, my back. I'm like, my back hurts, man. And we were just like two old men. It was like grumpy old men, man. We were just grumping and just like, these fucking kids. It was a good show, though. But, man, I was hurting for days. I slept for like a whole day. I missed May the 4th because I was sleeping the whole day. I slept like 20 hours.
That's amazing. I didn't sleep. I will tell you with all truth, I didn't sleep 20 hours over the course of
Your entire life.
Yesterday excluded, but the previous 3 days I did not sleep a total of 20 hours. I slept a total of just under 15 hours in the last 3 days.
That is
yesterday
beautiful.
I slept 7 hours.
I'll transfer you some.
Yeah,
in the future,
I
I'll
need
be able to transfer you hours.
I need some hours. I was so tired the one day, but I was really sore and I took a back pill. And every now and again, those back pills just make your brain race. Because I think 1 out of every 6 of them is actually meth.
It's E.
And
yeah.
oh yeah. And it was just like, and it was the second I laid down, I was like, like it was just, you're alive.
The ceiling turned into a big vagina.
And I'm like, what do I do? Am I getting sick? And I'm starting to get kind of the sweats. And I'm like, what's happening? And I get up and I sit up and I'm like, no, I feel fine. Because like, well, I figure if I'm getting that kind of like ickiness, the second I stand up is when I really feel it. And I stand up and I felt like $1 million. Like I could have went for a jog. And if anybody's actually seen me, they know that's not a thing. And yeah, I just felt so out of it, so discombobulated, and it took me like I went to bed just before 10 o'clock because I had to get up in the morning for work. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning for work, so I was already maybe gonna get 6 hours if I nailed it, and I never nail it.
Nope.
And then this happened, so I got about 3.25 hours. It was
beautiful.
It was pretty
You're
fantastic.
drug flipping
because I was
they do
freaking
that
out.
like you said, 1 in every 6. I was watching like this Drugs Inc. episode, and the guy actually said that they do that. He's like, they make all these, they make the pills, and 1 out of every like 7 they make deadly. So somebody takes it, dies, and all the other addicts are like, this must be a good batch because someone died on it.
Yeah.
And they buy, and then sales go through the roof. So you just helped whatever that was.
Yeah.
Triple. You better be getting paid for this.
I just made back pills rad.
Damn right you did.
So that's what we're dealing with.
Old guy shit.
We've skipped over one very important thing. Dawn of the Dead. Let's
What?
have a listen to the trailer.
Oh, hey.
In 1968, George Romero brought us Night of the Living Dead. It became the classic horror film of its time.
Not that room! Not that room!
Now, George Romero brings us the most intensely shocking motion picture experience for all times.
It gets up and kills. The people it kills get up and kill. This situation must be controlled before it's too late. They are multiplying too rapidly.
Dawn of the Dead.
Meet me on the roof at 9 o'clock. Getting out.
I don't believe
We're
it.
going to
What?
get out in the chopper. We've got to survive. Somebody's got to survive.
They kill for one reason. They kill for food. They eat their victims.
Imagine, if you will, that something has gone terribly wrong.
Shoot it, man.
Now, accept the fact that there's no escaping the horrible consequences. George Romero brings back the dead. Night of the Living Dead has ended. Dawn of the Dead is here.
We must not be lulled by the concept that these are our family members or our friends. They are not. They will not respond to such emotions.
Operator dead. Post abandoned. We may never get out alive. It's everywhere. What the hell is it?
Looks like a shopping center, one of those big indoor malls.
What are they doing? Why do they come here?
Some kind of instinct, memory, what they used to do. This was an important place in their lives.
What is it?
We've got a war.
I'm afraid.
We have spawned our own savagery. Soon, it will consume us all. It is a horrible, hauntingly accurate vision of the mindless excesses of a society gone mad.
They must be destroyed on sight.
When there is no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
We are down to the line, folks. We are down to the line.
Dawn of the Dead.
So that was it.
What a preview.
Yeah, there's an interesting thing with that little disclaimer that shows up at the end there.
Yeah, that
saying
was a
that
serious
there's
disclaimer.
There was no sex in the movie, no serious sex in the movie, but nobody under 17 will be admitted. It's because, and we'll talk about it a little more next week, it was originally supposed to be given an X rating, and they actually negotiated it down to no rating.
Oh, just an NR.
Just like, don't rate us, and
We'll give you a nice disclaimer before.
And we'll tell them, because George Romero was really upset about the idea of being put in with porn.
Right.
And stuff like that. So
that's like the kiss of death.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Even probably now, right?
Yeah. Well, because it's like, oh, okay, you're not trying to make a scary movie. You're just making smut.
Making smut.
Dirty smut. But yeah, we were talking about during the trailer, Todd mentioned how much he liked the remake.
Loved the remake.
And I also really liked the remake because anytime you can get me some Mekhi Phifer.
Hell yes. And it's got Buddy from, the good Modern Family.
Yes.
He plays such a good scumbag.
And that was the first thing I ever saw him in.
Me too, I think.
Ty Burrell.
He was great in it.
And he was so good in it. And
that's why the next thing I saw him in was Modern Family. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, there's a creeper.
Same thing. It was like the three things I've seen him in were Modern Family, this, and the Hulk, the one with Ed Norton. So yeah, the Incredible Hulk.
Oh.
Because he plays Betty's girlfriend there.
Oh,
boyfriend.
okay.
Yeah. So, and he's a good guy in that one. Like, he's not like a prick. He's not like the super happy-go-lucky, but he's General Ross is looking for his daughter.
Right.
He's like, I'm not going to tell you where she is.
There's a good Canadian girl in the remake too, Sarah Pauly.
Yeah, we got a
and that was Zack Snyder directed before he ruined the DC universe.
just prior to that.
Yeah.
And a woman who has touched my ass was a hand double in that. I think I've told the story on here before, but my nurse, after I had surgery around my tailbone to remove a cyst, I had nursing care for a little while because we're Canadian and it's free. And so I'm just saying, I'm really sorry right now because you guys are going through a fucking nightmare down there with your healthcare, and I'm talking about getting my ass taken care of for nothing.
But that ass taken care of. You should have seen the hole. Woo.
No word of a lie.
Oh.
They have a measuring device that is a giant Q-tip, and it's got like ruler marks on it, and they stuck it in, and I could feel it poking out the bottom left part of my ass cheek. Like I could feel that part move. Todd's getting dizzy.
They essentially just like opened up the manhole cover and then just like whipped it in. You can listen. You actually start the stopwatch and listen for when it splashes at the bottom.
Yeah, but the hole from the inside of the incision, from where the actual cyst was removed, so there's actually more on the outside, was 11 centimeters deep.
Holy moly!
That's a hole they just leave in you because they can't sew it up, otherwise we get all infected and you die.
Wow!
So they have to let it heal from the inside out. I was off work for 6 months.
6 months.
Like it was a thing. I actually was not healed, and I flew to Alberta. And I was out there for a week, and then I flew back. I was like, at that point, I wasn't doing nursing anymore. I was able to change my own stuff because it was a small hole in my ass.
I still can't change my own stuff. I got a nurse.
Yeah. Nurse, change my stuff.
That's right. Happy endings.
Yeah.
Nurse, happy endings. Bing, bling, 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 bling.
My happy ending was walking away with my life. But
that's a pretty good ending.
Yeah, it was good. I was pretty well so far. We'll see
for you.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I'm the alternate ending for other people.
Exactly.
But yeah, so we were talking about how
the studio didn't want to keep.
No doubt. But yeah, we were talking about how much we enjoyed that one, and then the fact that like the zombie purists pissed on or shit on it. That's the second time because I made that mistake while we were talking. I said pissed on instead of shit on, and then I just did it again.
Pissed and shit all over it.
Yeah. But
there are, I used to be a zombie purist.
Yeah.
A lot, but then it was those when you think about it, like you said,
Yeah. So I want to pitch a movie that is more realistic, quote unquote, to well, because I mean, if you go to the real science thing,
right,
it's like, yeah, these things would be decomposed in no time. If you got groceries recently, lock your door, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
essentially. Or if it's winter, wait like 30 hours
and
you'll be able to go outside. Dead snow was fantastic.
In a rage.
Yeah, but that would be the thing. They'd just be shifty eyes, just and then you could just literally, like, people could go outside and just take icicles off their house and just because that's the other thing. Zombies get like Jello soft skulls afterwards. If you watch The Walking Dead now, like, you could pretty much like push your thumb through a skull
through his brain.
Like, they're like, it got easier and easier. It's like
because their brains are getting mushier and mushier.
It's like a 90-pound girl just pushing a knife through a skull, no problem. I mean, like, at least stick it in his ear or something, but
fuck it,
no problem. But it's fine.
Messing around. But they, they would be in varying degrees of decomposition.
Agreed. Depending on when they died. So
right.
The fresh guys should be able to run. They
like
have
in
full muscle capacity.
What was 30? Fuck, man.
Yeah.
And Robert, what's his name, is in it. 28 Days Later. That was the movie where I was like, you know what? They're not so much zombies as they just raged out.
Yeah.
So, and you think about, in the zombie movies, like you said, you die.
Yeah.
And if you're bit, if like right now we were bit, we should be able to run and run after people and get crazy.
But basically as fast as you would be able to.
Right.
Like the one girl in the remake, she was like giant, like a 300-pound woman or whatever. She's like, she wasn't running a marathon, like she wasn't running a super fast sprint.
Right. She was going as fast as she could.
And then as time would go, or even just as because again, they're going as hard as they can, not paying attention. So they might snap a leg.
Yep.
And then, okay, now they can't walk on that leg, and now they're dragging themselves as hard as they can. But then as time goes, they decompose, they do whatever, and then like things start wearing away, and then they stop being able to do things, and they start walking slower.
There's it's creepy when they go slow, but it's creepier if they do, but what was the one where they're just like flying over top? Brad Pitt was in it, and they're like, it's like a tsunami wave of
World War
fucking
Z.
like,
yeah.
You can't even distinguish who's. It's just like a wave of them.
Yeah. See, and that was cool, like from a visual standpoint.
Right.
But it's like, it doesn't have the same
Like in the walking, like I was gonna say, is like the walking. I feel like if they were just lumbering around, like you could just like, okay, I'm going to the store.
Yeah,
like you just make sure you don't get holed up in a place for too long.
In
just
Tom
keep moving.
Savini's remake of Night of the Living Dead, they literally do that. They're like, you just walk past them.
Yeah,
and then the girl and the one guy literally just like walk around them, and they do kind of like the slow mo, like whoa,
yeah, like when you're walking past that crazy homeless guy or something, like at the store or on the subway, and you're just kind of like like you don't want anything to touch, but there's no danger really.
You're at like a food festival and everybody's got like rib sauce all over their hands, and you try to like don't touch my shirt. Shouldn't have wore white. But
it reminds me of when my grandmother walked out of the room and she had literally shit all over her hands, and I was like, oh god! And I remember it like it was a zombie movie because she's walking towards me, and I'm like, no, I got the gun. I'm like, I can't do it.
But he did. He shot her in the face.
Oh fucking A!
Yeah, that occurred.
Yeah, that dookie on me.
But
the only person's shit I'm getting on me is mine, and sometimes Joe's.
I feel like that. Like we had spaghetti and meat sauce today, and my son reached out to touch my arm, and I felt exactly the same way. I was just like,
involuntarily punches his son in the face.
I would, without hesitation, just tip over his high chair and just be like, you eat down there now. Like that would just be how my
just like our parents made us eat.
Yeah. You give it to him in a bowl, and then you slop it on the floor, and you're not worth a bowl, asshole.
That's it.
But
they used to knock me down and eat like over top of me, so the things that fell out of their laughing, demented mouths would hit me in the face.
It's true.
Best. That was my Dawn of the Dead. Would you hold up in a mall? Would you like to be in a mall? Where would you like? The mall seems like a pretty good place to crash out.
From an idea standpoint, I remember seeing this movie for the first time, being fairly young, and immediately thinking that's the best idea in the world. Because you have access to everything. Now, this one didn't appear to have any kind of like grocery store or something like that. So you weren't like high on food supplies, but they happen to have a bunch for some reason.
And you know what? Now, before we shouldn't talk too much about like the movie, because But one thing for everyone, I'm not going to mention it again.
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody needs to notice the guy who just doesn't care about the zombies and needs to know what his blood pressure is. Do you remember the scene I'm talking about? We'll talk about it after, but just remember the guy. Look out for the whole movie. 10 points for when you see the guy getting his blood pressure taken.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's like the greatest scene in movie history.
That's a good one. But yeah, I loved the idea of the mall, and I loved the idea that if you could secure a mall, which would not be an easy thing to do.
No, it would not.
And in the world of if you see it, especially in The Walking Dead, when you see like lots of people coming out, like, we're taking over your cool area, like that kind of thing, that would be a very real thing, because they're like, you've got the place. And if you only have a small group of people, it's like, yeah, we're coming in and we're taking your place, because it's not a lot.
Yeah, I always wanted like to see the movie where everybody is split up. Like some people are trapped in an apartment building, some people are on the ground level running around hiding, some people are holed up like at the mall. You know what I mean? Where you get all different. That's what I thought. Like, what's it called was going to be the fucking Walking Dead.
Well, in the Dawn of the Dead. Well, and they do that a little bit in that, but they do it in large communities, not like 2 or 3 people.
I want to just like 1 or 2 people running around, kind of like Attack the Block, only with zombies.
Yeah.
Where you can kind of split people up, and maybe it could be a trilogy or something, right? Like,
well, the remake did have the guy who was off in his gun store.
I loved it. I absolutely loved that remake. That they escape and stuff too, which they don't do in this one, right? They really make a run for it.
Did you see the eggs or the extra thing in the remakes DVD where it's like that guy doing a video diary?
Well, I remember in the credits.
Yeah.
They find his video recorder and it's Buddy the scumbag, and they kind of watch back and the naked girls, and then they film themselves getting to the island.
Yeah, no, this
wherever they land.
This isn't that. If you go into the DVD extras of that thing, it's the guy who works at the gun store and is by himself.
Oh, no
way!
And
then he's like, yeah, I just met this guy, and because like Ving Rhames' character says like, my name's whatever.
Right.
I want to say Roger, but I don't believe that's
I felt so bad for that guy.
I know, right? And so it's him. And he's like, oh my god, there's people and they're over there. And then it comes back and it's like they think they have a plan and blah blah blah, and it's like it's gonna happen, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, I can hear them, he's like, I'm in here, and he's like, no, and then he gets
shit,
and then he gets it
because they open the thing and the guy tries to jump in through the doggy door or whatever, right?
Yeah, so like one of them gets through because the dog gets through. He's like, yeah, and then like so he's all happy, and then that occurs, and then you get that awesome scene on the roof when he's like, you see,
Yeah,
he
he's
looks
trying,
like he's writing,
and
and it's
he's
just got
it's all
blood.
blood.
Smears. Good.
I like the scene where they're running back upstairs.
Yeah.
And Buddy Dickhead's not opening the door, and all the zombies run around the stairs, and right at the last couple steps, they all stop.
Yeah.
And look up at them, and I'm like, whoa, fuck, like what a creepy image, man. Because I'm like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that one.
But nobody gets their head taken off by a helicopter blade, so that's
No. Spoiler alert. That shit is real. I remember seeing that and being like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And then that happened. And I think I saw that with you for the first time.
I think so.
And then it just went up and he just went and down, and we just laughed our faces off. And it's such like that to me. And reading into it a lot, I heard that there was a lot of improvised like special effects and stuff like that. Like they're like, oh, let's do this. Let's
try
just
this
like
out.
it's like, well, what if I had like a severed arm or whatever? I just like he's like, I can whip one of those up in no time. We've got a bunch in the shop type thing, right?
Right.
He's like, I got one just for this. Like I've been thinking about this, like just for a rainy day.
What do you
type
know?
thing. That's what you get when you get Tom Savini, who did a lot of jobs in this movie too. And again, we'll talk more about that.
Yes.
But yeah, Tom Savini.
He's a man.
Yeah, I really regret not meeting him at the Comic-Con that I was at.
How much did he cost?
Like nothing.
He was free.
No, he wasn't free, but he was cheap.
Did he have a big lineup?
No, I literally could have walked up to him. Like
I feel bad for the people that have no lineups.
I
don't know why.
I saw Karen Parsons who played Hillary on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was at one time, and she had literally nobody. And I'm like, I've got money on me. I should just go.
Like you feel so bad.
I
for
felt
Hillary.
bad, but I was like, it was this and Major Pain for her. I was like, she deserves some. She deserves a little
something.
Yeah, like I was like, and she's done other things. Like, don't get me wrong, and other things with her life aside from.
Do they come to the stars and ask, like, "Hey, do you want to come to Comic-Con?"
I'm sure they reach out. I don't know the network through which they reach out, but they. I mean, they've gotten like your William Shatners,
right?
Your Hasselhoffs and your like things like that, right? So, the. Yeah, I don't know. And then, I mean, other ones, like Fan Expo in Toronto gets, like, Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart were there, and Elijah Wood was there.
That's an awesome one.
So it's good. It's just crazy, and it covers a couple of buildings, and I think it just, like, it piques my my curiosity to want to meet one of these guys, but it gets closer to that San Diego level, not at that San Diego level.
Yeah, there's like
closer,
so many people there.
Too many people, and if you want to meet somebody, that costs you a day.
You're going to stand in line the whole day just to meet George Takei.
Yeah, and sorry, I wouldn't do that for George, and I love him plenty much, but that's
How dare you?
Oh my.
He was on Adventure Time.
Or he does my favorite thing in Community. He did the one Halloween episode. He does the voiceover at the beginning and the end, and he's like, "This is a community college," and then at the end he's like, "And so that's how the story ends," and he's like, "Here's a free answering machine message for somebody named Eric. Hi, Eric's can't come to the phone right now because he's with me in a spaceship, George Takei." And like, it's just like. It's just so funny. It's like that when Leonard Nimoy was on The Simpsons, and he's just like, he's like, "I saved us." And he's like, "No, you didn't I?"
You didn't do anything, didn't
like,
I?
Like, so good. But I think whenever somebody really plays up the thing they're in and doesn't just like get too serious and go, "I'm a big deal," like I'm not gonna, like anybody who has the slightest sense of humor about themselves, they're instantly the coolest people.
Agreed. I
so
agree.
good.
Not me though.
No, not me.
Somebody better make a fucking joke of my expense, baby. I'll smash a wine bottle over your head. I'll smash a wine bottle over my head and then stab myself and say you fucking did it.
I will Facebook stalk you and kill everybody you love in front of you and then just make you wallow.
And then put a Facebook post about how fun it was. Yeah.
And then I'll like it.
Yeah. Miss your family yet? Hashtag fuck you. Is that real, or people just put hashtag something?
Well, yeah, you can hashtag things. Well,
you just hashtag anything these days.
Yes. Todd's very new to this. Yeah, no, it's just a way of searching things. You can search by anything. So, like, if you just typed in a person's name, it would search by that person's name, but it's easier to do the hashtag thing.
What about hashtag looking up the most referenced hashtags.
That's not a thing. Although hashtag no doubt exists, but it doesn't look up
It's
specific
looking up
hashtags.
like,
just
this
looks up-
hashtag was next to Alec Baldwin's tweet, but then this hashtag is the one that got Reese Witherspoon in trouble. You know?
Don't you know who I am?
Hashtag.
I'm Reese Witherspoon. See, I do a flawless Reese
That
Witherspoon.
was an amazing Reese.
What just occurred?
I'm sorry, what?
I literally just watched Todd die.
It's Stroke.
He's turning into R2D2 in front of my face.
Watching too much Bill Nye. You've been watching Bill Nye? He's
I
back.
have not watched the new one
It's
yet.
good.
No, people have said nice things about
It's
it.
really
I have
good.
not seen it
It's
yet.
changing people's minds on climate change and global warming, which is for real.
What?
I said it.
Oh, wow.
It's the real fucking deal now, baby.
Man. No, I believe it's real because
You made it happen.
Yeah, because April showers are supposed to bring May flowers, and all these May showers are fucking up our lives.
Yep, everything's back a month.
So, congratulations. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, same damn month now. Jesus was
cramming
born
into
in
one.
a different spot.
It's the end of the world, so you might as well celebrate it all
Yeah.
together.
Jesus.
That's going to be a good party. Oh, everybody at the same place partying. No problems. I can see no problems happening with this party we're planning.
I picture an Island of Dr. Moreau level orgy, just a pile of stinky people.
It's like if Caligula
Yeah.
took place on the island of Dr. Moreau.
Yeah. And everybody was supplied E.
Yeah. Oh, they were.
Nice.
I like that guy.
Our second E reference.
I like
in
the
day.
dude that like had his urine removed and replaced with wine. So he would come around and pee wine into your glass. They did that back in the day.
That's terrifying because I now need to look everything about that up.
We should have those at our next party, our next bar mitzvah.
Todd and I take turns
You're
becoming
a
a
man
man.
now. You're a man.
I really have a
Drink the wine.
I have a sick and Kalahenu because Baruch atah in Kalahenu. I don't really know any of those. I know random from movies and TV shows that it featured young Jewish boys at their thing. I've picked up little things, and the Enkelohenu I actually picked up from a movie called Keeping the Faith, which is way better.
Keeping the faith.
Which is way better than people gave it credit for. The thing bombed royally.
Is Mandy Moore in that?
No.
Oh,
So, and
I
I
forget
think
it
again,
then.
this is another one I think I've mentioned on this show before.
Shawn Michaels in it?
Yeah, it's Shawn Michaels and Billy Zane. But the
liar.
Yeah, no, it's Ben Stiller plays a rabbi.
And
his best friend
and
is Ed
Robert
Norton.
Norton.
Robert Norton.
Robert
I'm gonna
Norton.
fucking destroy you. It's basically Ben Stiller, Ed Norton, and what's her face, Jenna Elfman were like best friends growing up.
They're in love with her.
They were both like, well, they were so close to each other, and then she ends up moving away. He becomes a rabbi. Ben Stiller becomes a rabbi. Ed Norton becomes a priest. I don't know why I had to tell you that the Jewish guy of the two guys became the rabbi.
You never know, right? You never know.
But anyways, so like they became rabbi and priest, and they actually like help each other, and they're trying to be like very like what's the word, ecumenical, I think it is.
Right.
I think
Sure. I
yeah.
don't even know what you just said, but yep.
Well, it's like when you're like crossing religions and stuff like that. Like when you have an ecumenical service, it will have like a rabbi and a priest and
Okay.
imam.
I'm just gonna say
whatever.
yes.
Yeah. They really left the Muslims out of this one, though. I'm going to tell you right now. And Ed Norton directed it as well.
That is correct.
So no, I
The
know.
fuck's Ed Norton
I'm
in
telling
that?
you. I'm not asking.
Well,
Ed Norton. I don't know. I'm sure he's busy, but he's
he
doing
was in
Ed
that new Will Smith one, that sappy one.
Yes.
What was it called?
I Am
Like,
Legend.
Will,
He played the dog.
Yeah, he
Played the dog.
Will
Sad
Smith
scene.
saves Christmas
He
or
nailed it.
something.
I was just gonna say After Earth, but the only thing I thought of was I Mother Earth.
Yeah,
It's like I just mixed iRobot and
fucking A,
and
man. They'll love that plug.
Yeah,
Edwin's calling in right now.
we did it. That's a Canadian band for everybody who doesn't know. But anybody. No, that's not the band I was thinking of.
What band are you thinking of?
No, I was just going to say he did Kane's theme music. Anybody watched wrestling, but that was Finger 11.
During this one, I think that we should have at the very end a picture of a penis spitting wine and the song "Return to Innocence" by Enigma. Remember that one?
Just a constant GIF. I'm not calling it a GIF. It's a GIF of. I bet I could find it. Well, good news. Good news. I'm going into night shifts tomorrow because I've got some work to do now, baby.
Oh,
but anyways, so yeah, this movie was. They end up. She comes back into their lives. They both fall in love with her, but the priest can't do anything about it unless he gives up the priesthood. Whereas the rabbi's allowed to fucking just bone her like crazy and whatever.
He chose the right one.
Everybody was cool, and yeah, so it was actually quite good. And
I'll bet you she's not in love with the rabbi though. She likes Edward Norton.
Nope, other way.
Oh,
other way.
She's into Ben.
She's into Ben, way into Ben.
Okay, what's the problem?
And Ben was way into her because he. Ed Norton was really questioning his faith.
Oh.
So he has to keep the faith.
Keeping the faith.
So he was questioning, well, his place in the religion by being a priest. He's like, because I'm having these feelings and blah, blah, blah. And then on top of that, now I'm having these feelings and I can't even do anything about it because my freaking Jew. Because you get really... You get really racist and whatnot when somebody's like cock blocking you in such a way.
I just get racist anytime I want to.
Yeah.
Anytime it's convenient at the grocery store is what I call it.
Yeah.
I want you guys to know that we're talking about keeping the faith. It's a real coincidence, but I actually have a Netflix entire season called Keeping the Faith.
Yeah.
And it's just me mulling over whether I should sell my Faith Evans collection.
Yes. And spoiler alert, he keeps it every time.
I was thinking the country girl. I forgot her. Faith Hill. Fuck.
Yeah. The pilot was actually an episode of Pawn Stars where he brought it, and they're like, "It's not really worth that much. I'll give you like $50." And he's like, "I'm gonna keep the faith."
Yeah.
And then
it's kind of like Scientology with what's her name, Kevin James's wife.
Oh,
it's kind of like that. A lot of hard hitting questions on this one. Faith Evans is a musical artist, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Isn't that Biggie's wife?
That's Faith
yes. Evans. Okay, good. Yeah.
All right, I was thinking about Faith Hill the whole time. So,
did you see Shania on the Voice?
Cannot say.
I think she's had work done, man.
Well, I'm sure she.
I could literally not even tell that was her.
Oh, really? Oh no, I didn't see. But speaking of which, they announced that American Idol is
going to a different network.
It's going to be on ABC, which really ties in. It really made it kind of like political and interesting. What?
Was Matt? Oh, that's NBC.
Matt Lauer.
Matt Liar.
Matt Lauer. Yes.
Fucking piece of
Matt
shit.
Loser.
We'd have no job.
Make America great again. Well, no, he got moved. Moved to like the Kathy Lee hour.
Oh so my god, he's like in the background. His job is to come out and like catch the dribbles of wine that fall out of Huda and Kathy Lee's mouth because they're just getting loaded.
That's the hour where if you get forced out of your hosting job, that's the hour you get stuck in because Reed just pushed her out for a younger woman. And then,
I see how that worked out.
Yeah, it did great. But well, I don't know. He's still alive.
He's still going. I think he's hanging out at Richard Simmons' house.
Yeah. He just keeps showing up to things. He's like, "Hey, how you doing?"
You're like, "Oh my god, Regis."
He should
go back to Letterman.
Yeah.
He was always on Letterman. They loved each other.
Oh god, yeah. Yeah,
Stephen Colbert now. It's Stephen Letterman Colbert.
Colbert is nailing it, by the way.
He's killing it.
And he's killing it. He's in a little bit of trouble.
Oh my god, it was like the greatest thing I've ever heard anyone say.
I know, and I saw the episode as it happened, and I lost my mind when he basically, anybody who doesn't know, he called, and the MPA can't do, or the FCC can't do anything about this because we are not a rated thing, and we don't deal with any of that stuff, and we've labeled ourselves as not safe for work. But he called Donald Trump's mouth nothing better than Vladimir Putin's cock holster.
He said more than that too. It was amazing.
Yeah. Well, he said a lot of stuff, but that's the thing that he's actually, because when I first heard that, like, I didn't really put it all together at first, and it said FCC is like deciding whether or not he is vulgar. They didn't say specifically his joke, and I'm like, is the governor or is the government actually like trying to like censor him outright? And then I was like, oh, this is getting dangerous. It was like that kind of thing. And then I was like, oh no, he said cock holster. I'm like, yeah, they probably got to look into that.
Yeah.
And I was like, but they said that the law is essentially like, they're like, if they really go deep into this, they'll find that the law is on his side and he might get a little fine. And
that's so good for the ratings. He's doing awesome. You know why? Because I think we mentioned it before. Yeah. He talks politics. Jimmy Fallon does not.
Jimmy Fallon.
People want jokes about what's going on. Yeah. We don't want just like, hey, let's sing another song. Yeah. You know.
And Jimmy Kimmel, I mean, we've talked our trash about Jimmy Kimmel, but he's had a little bit of a rough week. His son was born with heart disease.
That's right.
It was really, really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It was to watch him tell the story and stuff like that.
I didn't see this. When I just heard, I was like, that's going to be too much for me.
Yeah,
man.
it was really, really rough.
And that's the second time now. For Downton Abbey.
Yeah, but that's the second time now where he's had like that kind of a story, like an emotional thing, because he had a very similar thing with Don Rickles just after Don Rickles died, and he had some tears and all that. This obviously being a little bit more high priority, just a tad. But yeah, I mean, not that anybody on that end listens to us, but our hearts go out to that because I mean, I'm a dad, and I know how that would be like my ultimate nightmare. So
if I didn't push a lot of girls down the stairs, I'd also be a dad. So I hear you on that one.
Fuck. It's true. I'm not going to edit that out, but that is what it is. But yeah, the Kimmel Show with Kristen Bell, who's been the co-host since that occurred.
She has?
Yeah.
Oh.
And she had Adam Scott on.
Why Kristen Bell?
I don't know. They're probably friends, and she was available. It's
that's
like
nice.
Keep it simple, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, who's around? It's like,
you know what? You can't show up. Get Rob Schneider to show up.
Schneider. That used to happen. What was it? Conan who did that?
I don't know, but I remember Richard Gere didn't show up. I think it was Leno,
and he kept showing up just as that person, like he would be
yeah.
himself. Yeah, I knew. Yeah, it was somebody out in LA
that.
at the time. But yeah, so he had Adam Scott on, who I think they were talking about Pretty Little Liars.
Right.
And then he started mentioning because it was May the 4th.
Right.
And he talked about being such a huge Star Wars fan that for his birthday, when he was like a little kid, he invited Mark Hamill to his birthday. And then they were like, what did you think? And he's like, I figured if he didn't have anything on his schedule, he'd probably show up. But he's like, he didn't show up. And I just thought, no, he must have been busy. Like, I wasn't heartbroken. I just was like, yeah, he's must have just
doing something.
Must have just been
Would
busy.
you just like to Mark Hamill, throw it in the mailbox?
I guess.
I think that's what kids do,
like,
right?
Like The Secret. He just put it out there and into the universe.
It's not a secret anymore, kid, because you fucking told everyone.
Yeah, but but then right as he's telling that story, the Star Wars music comes on, and then Mark Hamill's there, and dude is like in like legit tears.
Oh, and this is now.
Yeah,
though.
this is now. As an adult, he's sitting on the couch,
Adam
and
Scott.
then Adam Scott is on the couch.
The guy
and he's
from
like Parks and Rec.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
like all that good stuff.
Krampus.
Yeah, he's in Krampus. Yeah, and
Piranha.
Yeah, which I bought.
Amazing.
I bought Piranha and Piranha Double D.
Piranha Double D's not as good.
But I still liked it.
Yeah.
Ving Rhames with machine gun legs.
Yes.
What are you gonna do? But it's all good. Yeah, so really, really, really fun. But yeah, he comes out and he's like, oh my God. And he literally says, like, he gives him a hug and he's like, this is like the best moment of my life. And I was like, you could see it in his face, and he like literally covered his face for a minute. Like, he's like, I'm gonna cry. It's gonna like, and he teared a little bit.
It's cool to see moments like that. And people are just like, I can't handle it.
And I was watching that and I was like, I'm so glad that wasn't me, because I would have lost all
motor functions.
Like I would have just like
beauty.
It's like when I reference it a lot, but in Community, when Donald Glover meets LeVar Burton and he just stares at him dead-eyed.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Like,
that one I've seen, and he can't do it. He tries to keep meeting him because he can't say anything. It's all weird for him.
And he's just like,
that was a good one. I need to get all those episodes.
And he's like, don't meet your heroes. He's like, you can't, like, he's doing that kind of thing. He's like, I always said I didn't want to meet him. Then he's like curled up in a ball going, butterfly in the sky.
I can fly twice as high.
Very good stuff. But yeah, I don't like, again, and I've said it before, if he was at a Comic-Con thing that I could get to, and he was like, and I don't, like, there's no price that I wouldn't pay. That's just too good for me.
That's it for you, man. I think Arnold might be for me. I think I'd pay $100 to meet Arnold.
Oh yeah, easy. Although I don't think Arnold would do it for $100. I think like he's like,
you have to do 100 push-ups.
It'd be like $200. Yeah,
you have to probably do 1,000 push-ups.
$200 and save a rainforest.
You have to prove it too.
It's one thing. I mean, this has been an interesting time politically, because I think it's the first time in a long time where you can actually take a politician and just look at them for their beliefs and stuff like that, because you'll see somebody come out against like Trump's thing, and like you've got like the guys who are like, oh, we'll back him all the way, you're Paul Ryan's and you're whoever's, and then you'll get one guy who's like, no, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And it's like to the point where, like, back when it was Bush, if they were gonna vote something in, they're like, we want to vote this in, it was like every Republican would vote in favor of that. And then this healthcare thing comes along, and it won by a vote, and they have the numbers. Like that should have coasted through.
Right.
And they just won to the point where the Senate's now pushed it off to the side because they're like, it's not going to win. If we do that again, it's not going to win. So it's like we have to figure it out. It's probably going to get butchered and it's going to be all sorts of things. But if it goes down again, but like you're seeing that now. And I mean, it was the same thing actually when Chris Christie, that was way before the election, but when like Hurricane Sandy and stuff happened,
right?
And Chris Christie thanked Obama, and everybody came out against him, and they're like, "How can you do that? We're trying to beat him in the elections."
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Well, he'd already won,
God forbid.
It was like you're basically saying a Democrat did something good, and he's like, he did. He's helping. Yeah. He's helping my people. I am the governor, and it is my job to make sure that my people are getting the help. Yeah. And I need the federal government's help to do that in this situation. I was like, how can you guys not do, like, it's the most common sense
Never
thing
gonna
in
get
the
anywhere
world.
in this world if we don't fucking work together, man.
But literally, yeah, and it's literally anytime anybody on either side doesn't do that,
right,
it becomes the
biggest thing ever.
Yeah. It's bananas.
It's too far. The left has gone too far. The right has gone too far. There's no middle. The problem is there is middle, and it's just we're being bogged down with all this bullshit. Yeah. I've said it before. I think that it should be like a two-party system where if we're running against each other, you're left, I'm right.
Yeah.
If you win, you're the president. I'm right. I'm the vice president.
Yep. Well, that's how it used to be.
It's always like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, like that Paul Abdul song.
Yeah.
But we're not coming together because opposites attract.
Yeah. Well, what used to happen was the first and second place, because there'd be more than one person running. And the first and second place were president and vice president. You didn't pick your person.
Right.
They weren't a part of your party, and it wasn't that kind of thing. But it is what it is. I know it's never going to go there, but I almost just say go the old school Greek way.
Go back to the monarchy.
No, not to the monarchy, but go the old school Greek democracy way, where people are picked like jury duty. This is your job is you're a senator for the next 4 years.
Wow.
That's your job. You are not Farmer Joe anymore.
You're a senator.
And it's not the rich people. It's
my God, it's like a comedy of errors.
It could be you and Bill Gates and like Eddie Murphy and like a
that would be awesome.
dude. And
I can guarantee you shit would get done.
Yep. Absolutely.
Shit would get done.
Absolutely. Because there's no set.
And nobody's got an agenda.
Yeah, and then because it automatically eliminates. And I mean, it's such a silly
just like
thing.
I get picked for world jury duty. Yeah. And as I'm walking in, some guy's like, "Hey, come over here.
Yeah,
here's $15 billion.
Yeah, like the dude.
Get in there. You love trash, and you love destroying the environment. No, I don't. Get in there. It's 15 bill. All right, great.
I would take it and then just vote against everything. It's like, what are you going to do? Ask for the money back?
They put another 30 million on. If you don't, they're going to kill you.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing, because that's where the real power comes in for. And I'm sorry that we're even doing this.
I know we went down the road we never should have gone down.
But where the real power lies isn't in the money that they give, because they give money for re-election campaigns and stuff like that. It's what they do if you don't do what they want, which is give somebody else the money for their election campaign to knock you out, so then they can do what you want.
It's all a big dirty
anyway,
cesspool of hell. Don't trust the man. Don't trust anybody. Just like Stone Cold. Don't trust Stone Cold Steve Austin. Trust yourself. Trust your neighbor.
Yeah.
Right? That's what they want to do, is they want to make all of us fight so we don't see that they're going behind our backs to fuck us all over.
Topple the patriarchy. Right?
Bam.
Is that a thing?
So right, we're the top of the mountain. We're at Canada, so we're the top of the mountain.
It's true. Yeah, if north is up.
Which I hope to God it is.
There's no denying it. North is up, because if you turn a map upside down, well, actually, north and south still look the same, those ones. But east and west look different.
They sure do.
So
that's something.
Yeah.
That's going to prove a point that'll do it.
Yeah. Earth's flat.
Dude, don't get me started on that one, buddy. You see how they take a plane? Yeah. The prime example that it's flat is take a plane to Australia. It doesn't go straight across. It goes up to you gotta look up into it, whatever, but it goes up. It's not a straight line. Mm-hmm. It's fucked.
Okay.
Flat Earth, baby. New World Order.
Flat Earth. We did it. Could you imagine if they actually proved that? If they proved one conspiracy theory, if they got a definitive,
then any of them could be right.
Yeah, if they got a definitive thing where Neil Armstrong.
We've never been to the moon. We've never been to the moon. They faked it.
Yeah, if Buzz Aldrin came out and said 100% we faked the moon landing.
What about if it was on his deathbed? He's like, we faked it, and then he dies. You're like, oh my god.
Or if the Cubans came out and said we arranged the JFK, like it's like those.
And we also rigged the election.
And like all the any of those things, and like literally everything would be up for grabs, and everybody would then at that point go, okay, we've been saying that this is bullshit for decades or however long, depending on what it is, and then be like, okay, well, we got to go through all of them again. Like start
Hell
from scratch.
I think they should do all the Tour de France's again.
Yeah,
because that guy was cheating.
It would be
call
funny
him all right now,
because that was like, I mean, he started like how many years ago?
Oh,
like,
exactly. So
like
these people aren't ready for this, but they're like, we're doing the race again. We're doing, yeah.
That would be amazing. Like all the Russian Olympics, like where they were like busted for steroids.
Dude, I think that could be. I think we should write that as a screenplay.
That would be.
The idea is that we would get all of our friends to play multiple characters from around the world who competed in the Tour de France, and now they're all getting a letter stating that next month they're doing it again. They've stripped him of his title, and so all these old people, like whatever, they got to go back to the race. They got to race, so some of them got to try,
I feel like an out-of-shape person who wants new talent is the part I was born to play, baby.
Exactly, me too.
Nice.
This movie writes itself.
I'm all over it.
Grafrau or Darnell, if you guys want some writing credits, Tristina, let's get together, man. Let's write this script.
Yeah,
you guys could be somebody in our movie.
I'll open up a Google Drive doc, and we can all just type in some thoughts.
It'll be like that Paul Verhoeven movie where they took like one page from each person from the internet or something and put a movie together.
Yeah, it sounds like a Paul Verhoeven movie.
Oh yeah.
You know how much that cost? He bought that for $1.
Get your ass to Mars.
I feel like that's as good a place as any to stop this.
I agree.
What? Yeah.
I agree.
All right, guys. In case our politics fucked you up,
we should cut the political part out. Now leave it. You know what? Leave it.
Well, yeah, we'll
leave it right in.
We'll leave it. You'll see where we stand, which is kind of nowhere. we stand near a donut shop going, man, shit's fucked up. That's where
you'll see where we stand.
That's roughly where
Whichever
we stand.
side looks like they're kind of going to win.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stand on the line and lean slightly. Ooh, this, no, we're going to go this side.
Yeah.
No.
My penis leans to the left. But it's because I got a soccer ball kicked into it when I was 6.
You're going to say, because I lean to the right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But nope.
Yeah, it's
a straight clinical explanation.
It's my counterbalance. I didn't know that was a thing. We're not ending this
counterbalance?
No, I knew counterbalance was the thing.
Oh.
No, but I remember we used to have a show called the Sunday Night Sex Show in the States on Oxygen. It was called Sex with Sue. I used to actually operate the show.
Oh my God. He used to operate the sex toys on Sue.
Always. I did that one, like when she was on Conan, when she put the dildo on her chin, and the Big Show and Tom Selleck were there. But like, you can find that online to this day still. It's one of the funniest things in the world.
Freaking Conan.
Yeah, and she used to go on all the time. But somebody was like, "Yeah, my penis curves like really hard to the left."
Through jacking off with your right hand.
No, it was because they either got kicked or something hit them, or they landed on something there, and scar tissue is created.
Okay.
So then when you
what is it like in an L? It was like at a 90-degree angle.
Well, the way they describe it,
for fuck's sakes,
I'm sure
everybody curves. It's from what hand you use while jacking.
No, I go straight, baby. Actually, I go up a little bit. No, I'm not going to worry about that. Yeah,
it's because you jack off with both feet at the same time.
Yeah,
keeps it straight up and down, man.
I do a weird power yoga squat, and then I just hop up and down over and over again. It's quite dangerous.
Kind of like an Ewok on one of those like bumble ball, like those ones where you jump on, the ball.
As I get older, my balls are getting lower and lower to the ground, and I know one day my heel's just gonna stomp on that thing. But yeah, no, it's basically the scar tissue, and then when you get erect, your scar tissue doesn't react like the rest of it, so then it makes it curve.
Is that what the Red Hot Chili Peppers tune is about?
Which one?
Scar tissue.
Scar tissue.
I should have said fucking like
Californication.
Yeah, I should have said a different
scar tissue.
And I wish you saw. Sarcasm is to know it. Oh, touch my balls and I'll kiss you, cause in the winds will sail. Yeah.
So yeah, lots of things. It could very well be. I think that most of their songs are probably about Anthony Kiedis's dong.
I guarantee he used to wear socks on their dongs.
Yeah, I'm sure he still does, but they do wear jeans now.
That's good.
I think they're starting to realize
they're
getting
adults.
old. They didn't realize that, but they did realize that they're in their 50s.
Yeah, maybe it's time.
How old do I feel when I start thinking about all those like edgy rock bands and stuff like that? It was like, I mean, even like the Beastie Boys were a little before our time. Like they were.
Yeah.
But I mean, Sabotage came out in our era. But like, Fight for Your Right to Party and stuff like that. That was before. Yeah. But those guys all started getting old. And then I'm like, oh no, what's happening? And then it's like all these young people were coming behind. I'm like, but they're all younger than me. They can't tell me how to feel.
Right.
And then, so it's been rough, is basically what I'm saying. So
a rough go.
Yeah. So basically now I just listen to jazz tuba.
Jazz tuba?
Yes. You like the yes? Okay.
Don't forget about Enigma, bro.
We're gonna play out. I'm gonna play out with illegal amount of Enigma at the end of this episode.
Fucking right.
So that's how we're gonna say goodnight to you. Have a great week, guys. We will see you next week with Dawn of the Dead, the original one, 1978. Go find it. Watch it along with us, guys.
Go to your local mall and see the local zombies.
The sheeple. We're getting political again.
The sheep.
Good night, guys.